Saints have won 8 of the last 10 overall, 26 of the last 33. So they've really dominated the series over the last decade and a half when Marist has really struggled. Of note, the road team has won the last 4 meetings in the series. Marist, the Red Foxes, appropriately in the road red. Saints breaking out the home block tonight. Our Albany Meds starting lineups. Keep an eye on Patrick Gardner, who will wear number 33 today, not number 15, which is what he usually wears. His normal jersey had a tear in it, so Patrick Gardner wears the number 33, Marist's best player. McCollum, floater from mid-range, is rebounded by Brickner. Albany Meds starting lineup for Siena. McCollum does get the start today. Same starting lineup as they had Friday, joined by Playtech, Stormo, Bear, and Billups. And it will be Bear rebounding the miss. End-to-end action to start this game. Stormo on the block against Gardner. Left-handed hook shot comes up short, and a rebound. Tracked down again by Brickner. Both teams have missed their first 2 shots to start the game. This is Isaiah Brickner, freshman from San Diego. 7.5 points, leads the team, 2.5 assists per game. Brickner, easy layup.
The freshman has been terrific so far this season for Marist, and Patrick Gardner involved in that play as well, and not just a prolific scorer for Marist, but somebody who can do a little bit of everything, second on the team in assists. Last time out against St. Peter's, he led the team in scoring, rebounds, assists, block shots, steals. Number 33 today does it all.
Playtech, the mid-range jumper from the baseline. First 2 of the game for Andrew Playtech, 11 points a game for the 6th-year senior. This is Gardner. Dribbles in on Stormo. Has the pass shut off. Coach Carm told us they really want to make him work for everything he gets. They know he's going to score, but make him be inefficient.
And because Marist moves Gardner around into so many different locations, he can beat in a number of different ways. You know, a lot of true scorers are 1 or 2 dimensional, but Gardner, despite his size, he doesn't just have to battle down inside the paint to get his points.
John Down, the head coach of Marist, after a good run at St. Peter's in his 5th year with the Red Foxes, 53 and 82, his record. Led St. Peter's to the MAC championship back in 2011, and way back when was an assistant coach at Siena from 1999 to 2001. Ingo missed the shot. 2001 was the same year that Carmen Massarello graduated from Siena College. He's in his 4th year, 63 and 38, and going for his 50th MAC win today, 49 and 21 in league play. Ingo makes 1 out of 2 to give the Red Foxes the lead.
Siena would like to get Jackson Stormo more involved in the offense as he catches the ball at the top of the key here.
Billups, tough fadeaway jumper. Rebounded by Gardner, who leads the team in rebounding, 6.5 a game.
And Coach Massarello told us that he believes Stormo is in his own head a little bit. Now, this is a player, a 9-game stretch from early December to mid-January, was averaging about 17.5 points per game. That production has been cut in half over the last 9 games.
Brickner, not a huge 3-point shooting threat. Coach Dunn said he has range out to about 17 feet. He's shooting 24% from beyond the arc this year. 2 on the shot clock, and a shot clock violation. Noah Harris unable to get it up on the rim.
Harris has yet to attempt a 3-point shot in this game, and that's going to be a barometer for Coach Massarello as they measure their defense in this game. When Marist makes 9 3-pointers or more in a game, they win consistently. 6 or fewer, and they don't. So guarding the perimeter is a point of emphasis for Siena this afternoon.
Bear, the open 3 from the left wing. And rebounded by Noah Harris. Marist comes in cold. They've lost 6 of their last 7. They're 8 and 15 on the year, 4 and 10 in the MAC, tied for 9th place. Harris the 3. And out of bounds to Marist. Siena comes off a solid win on the road at Mount St. Mary's on Friday, 72-65. Currently 10 and 4 in the MAC, good for 3rd place.
Of course, the difference in that game for Siena was Michael Ely and Javian McCollum were back. Ely had missed a couple dealing with a sickness, while Javian McCollum, as we talked about, had either missed or was limited in 5 consecutive games with a back injury. But it was really going to the chiropractor that's made a big difference for McCollum. It was really the team doctor and suggested that Javian try a chiropractor. He did a couple of sessions and has felt completely different as a result.
Couple missed opportunities there for the Red Foxes. McCollum will trigger the three and knock it down. McCollum comes off a 22.6 assist effort at Mount St. Mary's. Was just 5 out of 15 from the field, but 10 out of 10 from the free throw line.
Combining his points per game along with Michael Ealy, you get about 21 points. And talking to Coach Parm, as Siena comes up with a steal, he said, go look at those 3 games that we lost over the past couple of weeks. And he said, you give me just 10 points, and I like our chances in those games. So getting McCollum and Ealy and their offense back will make a big difference.
Under 16 to go first half. Saints with the early 2-point lead. There's only 2 more home games after this. There's already just 5 games left in the regular season after today. Playtech knocks down the first. Playtech just 60% from the line. Siena's at home against Quinnipiac on Friday. It's a 9 o'clock start, move from 7 to 9 to accommodate the ESPNU broadcast, and then a huge road trip the following weekend to Ryder, the first-place team, and Iona, the second-place team, on Friday and Sunday. The only remaining home game is on Thursday, March the 2nd, against Manhattan. 3 of the Saints' final 5 on the road, including the top 2 teams in the league at this point. So Siena 1 game behind Ryder, who's in first place at 11-3. Iona half game behind second place, 10-3. Siena third place, 10-4. Great race here in the regular season this year. Brickner a 3. Air ball. We mentioned Brickner not much of a 3-point shooter, 24%.
He is somebody who likes to get the rest of his team involved offensively, and that's what Coach Dunn was looking for when he went out on the recruiting trail last year. And Marist lost a lot of players from the team as Jackson Stormo loses his shoe. Lost a lot of players off the team that came into MVP Arena and beat Siena last year, and so had a number of spots to fill. And he just felt like last year's team was too selfish with the basketball. They rank near the bottom in assists per game in the country, and Ickner is one of those guys that, yes, he can score, and you mentioned more 17 feet and in, but Brickner also great off the pass as well.
Yeah, an interesting stat that was in Marist game notes as Gardner with a hop step and the score, his first 2 of the game. They have assists on 48% of their baskets this year. Last year that number was 35%, which was last in the country as Stormo is fouled. He'll go to the line. Manny injured his hand a little bit. They lost a lot of talent off that team, though. They went 14-16 last year, 9-11, tied for 5th place in the league, most notably the MAC Rookie of the Year, Jawa Tuka, went to Wake Forest. And John Dunn's had to retool, as so many coaches have had to. Trey Sultan, the foul. It was his first. Stormo with that kind of injured hand continues to grimace. He misses the first free throw. Michael Ealy in for Andrew Playtech.
I thought Coach Dunn's perspective was interesting when you asked him about that. Players leaving the program, especially freshmen coming in and going out. He said, well, number one, it's just the nature of the beast. This day and age in college basketball. But 2, he said, if there's a player who isn't fully committed to this program, that doesn't want to be here and is looking elsewhere, then that's not doing our team chemistry any favors. So maybe we're better off if they do it.
And that was really the main thing he talked about. Obviously, Marist is not thrilled with where their record is right now, particularly in the league, but he likes the spirit and the attitude of the team, and he feels they can make a run down the stretch. Taking it to the basket strong and scoring is Jaden Daughtry, a freshman from Fresh Meadows, New York. Queens area, averages 3 points and 3 rebounds a game. Michael Ealy is the first sub in for Siena. He comes off a career-high 23 at Mount St. Mary's on Friday night. He'll shoot a 3 here. And it's rebounded by Jaden Daughtry.
Michael Ealy trying to get his win back a little bit after missing those 2 games with an illness. Said he felt fatigued after the win at Mount St. Mary's. Coach Massarello said, you're fatigued? You just went off for a career high. I think we've got different definitions, you and me, of fatigue.
And he said, that's what you told me before the game.
Right. Yeah.
So,
right.
Don't want to be the boy who cried wolf there, but if that's how you play when you're fatigued, be fatigued every game. 23 points. The foul on Barros is first, as Jaden Daughtry has been aggressive since coming into the game. Missed the free throw. Daughtry, a 36% free throw shooter. Subs in for Siena, Jace Johnson along with Killian Gribben. Killian Gribben had a career best game in the season's first meeting against Marist. Had 12 points, made 4 out of 4 from the field, 3 from beyond the arc in 20 minutes. And you could say he was really the difference in that 15-point Siena victory. Jared Billups also had a big game, a career-high 24. But Gribben was certainly an unexpected boost in Poughkeepsie.
And Siena trailed by 10 points early in that game. You look at the final score, not indicative of how the game was played when Siena pulled away with that 16-2 run late.
Offensive rebound for Billups off the McCollum miss. McCollum sees the path to the basket, high off the window, followed up by Gribben, and Gardner clears the glass. Marist with the early lead in a very low-scoring affair. Gardner against the freshman Gribben. This is Cam Ferris, who had 14 points against Siena, including 4 3-pointers. Ely rebounds the Gardner miss. Jace Johnson is fouled.
Fortunate for Johnson, who had lost his footing, and he was going down one way or the other, but was able to get the whistle. By the way, Jackson Stormo had disappeared briefly into the locker room along with Siena's head trainer, but he's now back on the bench and doesn't seem too concerned.
Another sub in for Marist, Rollin Belton, a sophomore from Louisiana. 1 point in 5 minutes a game. Ely off the inbounds. Billups. Oh, out of bounds off of Tyler St. Fursey. He can't believe the call. Stays with Siena with 20 on the shot clock. Yeah, that's one where both players are kind of touching it on the way out at the same time. Tough call. See if Siena can capitalize. Gribben. Killian Gribben averages 2 points a game. He's matched that with that shot in 9 minutes of contest. Ireland, Irish native.
And it's not an easy shot, knocked down right on the block, but not, in order to go into that post move and shoot it at that distance takes a little bit of finesse. He did it well.
Woo. Deep three, Cam Ferris, who was a real marksman. Cam Ferris, a transfer from Robert Morris, first year at Marist. Shot 42% from three in 2 years at Robert Morris. This year he's at only 29%, but you know he's got that stroke. McCollum with 7 on the shot clock. Flips it up. Good defense there by Rollin Belton. Marist comes away with the rebound. This is Ferris. Gets by Ely. Rejected at the rim. Ball's loose. Billups got it. No, Jace Johnson's got it. Jace Johnson all the way to the rim. Lays it in and a foul. Chance for a three-point play for Jace Johnson when we return. 11 and a half to go. In Albany, Jace Johnson, chance to give Siena the lead. We're tied at 11.
He thought that was interesting.
Right. So John Dunn said he is a Giants fan. So being in the same division as the Eagles, as Johnson can't complete the free throw. St. Fursey, the rebound. He was quite appalled when the Empire State Building, he said him and all his kind of childhood buddies growing up had a text chain, and they just couldn't believe that the Empire State Building was lit up green and white in the colors of the rival Philadelphia Eagles. Coach Carm is actually a Falcons fan because he loves Arthur Blank, the owner. Nice move there by Rollin Belton. He said he loves the Philly story, the head coach, Nick Sirianni, who came from the Indianapolis Colts, by the way.
Thank you.
As Ely knocks down the jumper. It was kind of ridiculed after his opening press conference where he just didn't come across very well. And he said back in the day he used to love Randall Cunningham and
fan,
Reggie White. And there are probably some viewers out there who have no idea who Randall Cunningham was. Now, you and I are of the age where we remember him, the ultimate weapon, the T-shirts. He was running, he was throwing before that was the cool thing to do. He was a sensational player for the Eagles. So Coach Carm rooting for Philly. And a strong rebound by Killian Gribben. And a jump ball. The air will favor Siena.
Sultan sticking his hands in there to tie it up, which is Can be a dangerous play because you don't want to give up that foul 90 feet from the hoop the other way, but was able to do so cleanly and flip the arrow back for Marist.
Ingo back into the game for Belton, who played well in his limited minutes, made a couple of impact plays, and scored a bucket also. He only averages about 5 minutes a game. Ely just got on the board a moment ago. He'll try to add to his total here. And the rebound, Patrick Gardner. Patrick Gardner has 5 rebounds already.
Impact player Patrick Gardner has been in the MAC this season. I mean, this is a player who was playing junior college basketball a couple of years ago, made it to a national championship game at the JUCO level, and played Division II ball, and then found his way to Marist now as the 5th year of eligibility.
Woo! Patrick Gardner, the strong take. This is a 6'11", 245-pound player gliding to the rim. And,
right.
and you see a guy who's averaging, 18 and a half and 6.5 at the Division I level. And I know his team hasn't had a lot of success, but how did this guy go undiscovered for so long?
He put up 31 points earlier this season, which earned him MAC Player of the Week honors.
Boy, Saints going to work on the glass as Ely scores. Zach Tekken has checked into the game for Siena. I mean, Gardner at St. Mike's last year up in Vermont averaged 20 and 10 and over 2 blocks a game. Steal. Here comes Ely, and he'll lay it in.
Zach Tekken already making the most of his time on the floor. That was something Coach Massarevo told us after the game down at Mount St. Mary's. There was a time when Tekken was forced into the starting lineup because McCollum was out injured. And we'll see if this scrum ends in a jump ball. It will. So McCollum came back, and Tekken goes back into a reserve role off of the bench. And Coach Carm just thought that when Tekken got in on Friday night, he wasn't ready to play.
Shot clock. We'll never know. 17 on the shot clock for Marist. 8.5 minutes to go first half. Noah Harris kicks it out for a three-pointer. Well, long. An air ball long from Trace Salton. 3 on the shot clock now, and a score for Cam Ferris.
Marist is just 1 of 5 from the outside, and their 4 misses weren't anywhere close, but somehow came away with 2 points on that trip.
5 points now for Ferris. As Playtech throws it away, but it goes to McCollum. Still 12 on the shot clock. He'll hoist it up to the rim, and it's rebounded by Ingo. Here's Noah Harris, one of the few returning players from last year. He was their leading returning scorer, averaging almost 9 points a game this year. He'll shoot a contested 3, and it's rebounded by Jace Johnson. I'm sure that's the shot John Dunn wanted there. Johnson scores in a foul. And for the second time, Jace Johnson sends us to a timeout with a bucket and a foul. Second foul on Trace Salton. Saints retake. Robert Lee, Kelly O'Donnell, our entire ESPN crew with you from Albany, New York, MVP Arena. And for the second time, Johnson unable to complete the three-point play. Offensive rebound, Michael Bear. Wide open 3, Bear. And snatching the board, Tyler St. Furcy.
Talked earlier about how important it is for Marist to try and move the ball a little bit better this season versus last season, but also this game versus last time they played Siena, where they had just 6 total assists and 13 turnovers. So 2-to-1 turnovers to assists in that game, which is not recipe for success. In this game, just 1 assist so far against a few turnovers.
Out of bounds to Marist after the Gardner miss. Jared Billups back in, replaces Jace Johnson. Neither team has led by more than 4 in this game, so it's been back and forth throughout. 6 ties and 5 lead changes. Plenty of time on the shot clock. Here comes Brickner to get the ball with 10 to shoot. Brickner all the way to the rim. And foul. Jared Billups, his first.
tactical decision by Brickner, who identified that Bear had stepped out of the lane, allowing this free path to the basket. See, Bear steps back, and that created plenty of space on the way to the rim. And there really was no option at the end other than to give the foul.
Brickner to the line, a 90. Oh, no. Sorry. He was a 96% free throw shooter, and I didn't even get a chance to say he'd made 14 in a row until he missed there. He had a streak of 28 in a row earlier this season. Isaiah Brickner.
Well, not only that, but at 95.6% before going 1 for 2 at the line just now. That would be #1 in the country if he had enough attempts to qualify.
Instead, it's actually a different MAC player. Iona's Walter Clayton is #1 in the country. Turnover. Both teams struggling from the field, shooting 35%. Marist 1 out of 6 from downtown. Siena 1 out of 8. And frankly, the free throw shooting, Marist 3 out of 6, 2 out of 6. So the Nets have not been on fire here so far. Just over 6 minutes to go in the first half. Diagonal backdoor pass, then a skip pass to Gardner. Double team. Good ball movement here for Marist, leads to an open Brickner jumper. Gardner fighting with Stormo for the rebound. Bears got it. McCollum running the floor. Under 6 to go first half. Stormo yet to score, averaging 13.5 a game. Phillips attacks the rim, finger rolls it in.
Great inside-out basketball. Stormo with the kick out, and then the drive by Phillips. Gardner loses his balance there, doesn't turn it over. You know, 2 possessions ago for Siena, J.V. McCollum turned the ball over, but was really frustrated with Stormo, who thought Stormo should have had his head on a swivel ready for that pass. Part of the success of Siena's offense, particularly earlier in the season, before McCollum started having issues with his back, was that 1-2 game between McCollum and Stormo, and you wonder if maybe they just will need a little bit of time now that McCollum is back running the offense again to get into rhythm.
Bear knocks down the 3, his first in 3 tries, and John Dunn wants a timeout. With just over 5 minutes to go in the first half, Siena's now opened up its biggest lead of the game.
From the floor so far in this one.
He scored in double figures every game except 1 this year. Phillips hounding Brickner. Phillips closes out on Brickner. Gardner puts it on the deck. Nice feed. Ingo blocked by Bear. Platek runs down the loose ball. Excellent defense there by Bear.
Siena among the top teams in the country in blocks per game with 4.5 blocks per contest, 45th in the nation.
Platek the 3, off to the right. And strong rebound and a foul. Brickner the rebound and a foul, 92 feet from the basket on Michael Bear. It's his second.
Just the pass from Gardner here. Looks like it's going to be an easy 2. All clean from Bear.
With 2 fouls on Bear now, and they are unable to get him out of the game in time. They wanted to get Jace Johnson in. A little bit slow on the substitution, so Bear in there with 2 fouls. Tipped away and stolen by McCollum. 2-on-2 break. McCollum, stutter step, takes it to the rim, leaves it for Bear, who scores.
That was a really well-designed fast break. Initially, Platek was running through the middle of the court. Instead, he flashed to the outside, took a defender with him, and that created space for Bear to be there for McCollum.
Brickner misses the easy layup. McCollum pull up in transition. Rebound by Gardner. 7 over Siena over the last 3 minutes.
McCollum's looking for the foul there.
Tough jumper. Boy, Marist taking some very tough shots here. 28% from the field. Really, a lot of coaches, when you talk to them, they talk about focusing on the process, not the results. If you're taking good shots and they don't go in, you live with the results, right? But if you're taking good shots, you can live with that. But if you're taking bad shots, even if a bad shot can still go in, but most of the time a bad shot doesn't.
And this has been an issue for Marist all season long, right? We talked about how they're bottom in the conference in points per game and second from the bottom in field goal shooting percentage. A lot of that's just the quality of shot that you're taking.
Siena has opened up its biggest lead of the game. Nice fast break, McCollum to Bear.
Have a second, third, or fourth option that you can readily count on with any consistency. Their second top scorer on the floor is at 8 points per game, about 10 points less than Marist. So when you don't have another double-digit score, that's why it's easier for a team to key in on your guy. And there's Gardner getting the rebound. Like we said, he does a little bit of everything. But that was why a key to our game, and something we talked to Coach Carr about, was just keep Gardner in check. And if you're able to do that, you have to like your chances.
Yeah, it's interesting. Gardner is the second leading scorer in the league, 18.5 a game. Marist is the lowest scoring team in the league, 62 points a game. So he's averaging well over a fourth of the team's points, and he's adding to that total with a 3.
That's what we said. He can score anywhere on the floor, and Marist, because their offense is built around him, they'll run sets for him in a number of imaginative ways to try and get him free.
Billups missed the 3, and a foul on the rebound against Marist. I believe it's going to be called on Cam Ferris, his first. And that will put Siena at the free throw line. Stormo back in for Gribbin. It's going to put Ely at the line. Michael Ely, the freshman from Fort Wayne, 4-time MAC Rookie of the Week, and certainly one of, if not the top contenders for MAC Rookie of the Year, which will be given out in just a matter of a few weeks. 85% free throw shooter. Averaging almost 9 points a game. And he hits 1 out of 2. Gardner, 7 points, 8 rebounds already for Gardner, who, despite his gaudy numbers, has only 1 double-double this season. He's well on his way here. Here's Gardner. Nice move. Flips it in. Patrick Gardner, 9 points.
Boy, that was beautiful, huh? Showed the left hand, then cut back the other way. Once he got Stormo out of position.
And the big man matchup, Patrick Gardner has 9 points. Jackson Stormo has 0. See if they can get Stormo on track. He has really struggled of late. He's only got 1 shot attempt. McCollum pull-up jumper, well short. And the rebound to Marist. Coach Carm talked about all the different ways they get Gardner the ball. They really move him around and use a lot of actions to get him the ball in different situations. They were unable to get it to him that time after the quick shot, and another foul will put McCollum, an excellent free throw shooter, at the line. Our KeyBank halftime report coming up in about a minute 3. Take a look at first half action and also stats as well, and we'll have our trivia question, which sneak preview on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being the hardest. This trivia question is about a 3.
Okay.
So you should get it. If this is Final Jeopardy, you should wager everything you have.
All in.
McCollum, 87% free throw shooter, 4th in the MAC. 2 for 2, he's got 5 points. The teams traded leads early, but Siena has controlled the latter half of this first 20 minutes. Under a minute to go now. Ferris, tipped up and in by Ingo. Stefan Ingo, a transfer from Maine. And Siena will call its use it or lose it timeout. Ingo with 3 points. And this has been a common. Patrick Gardner leading the way with 9 points, as Marist will switch up the defense here. Kind of like a 1-3-1 look here out of the timeout. 16 on the shot clock. Alley-oop, difficult pass, turnover. Red Foxes can hold for 1, and they will. 17 seconds to go. They'll hold for the final shot. Saints have missed 6 of their last 7 shots now. Under 10 to go. Gardner will trigger from out top with 6 seconds left. Gardner turns the corner. Gardner, tough fadeaway. Billups the rebound and will not get a shot away. That is the end of a low-scoring first half with Siena leading at 29-25. KeyBank halftime report coming up. Saints with a 4-point lead here in Albany.
The John Dunn leaves St. Peter's, ends up at Marist. We see St. Peter's go on the run. In credit to that coaching staff and everything they did, when you talk about resources and where you could potentially build a program, it has just felt like, you know, they've been in quicksand trying to get this thing moving.
Siena starts the second half in the black jerseys as Stormo turns it over on the first possession. Here's Gardner wearing the number 33 today. His other jersey, number 15, had a rip in it. So Gardner, Marist top players, wearing number 33. Had 9 points, 8 rebounds in the first half. Going one-on-one with Stormo. Down to 10 on the shot clock. Contested 3 for Harris. And the rebound tapped to Gittleland native Andrew Platek. Platek only 4 points in that first half. Stormo did not score. He averages over 13 points a game. He also only had 1 rebound in 14 minutes. This is a player who averages 13 and 5. Neither team has scored in a minute and a half going back to the first half, and the Saints won't score here as it's a turnover off the hands of Billups. Attacking the rim, and now pulling it back out. Here's Brickner. Unable to get it to go. He's missed a couple of those higher percentage looks around the rim. Brickner has 3 points. McCollum's one-footed jumper is good.
Good for Siena to see McCollum get going offensively. You know, in addition to what you lose from McCollum when he's not on the floor as far as his points per game, you know, he is the maestro when it comes to this offense, and there are so many things that he can do, you know, really intricacies to their offense to put people in the right position to score. And like Coach Carm told us yesterday, he said when he's not on the floor, we have to simplify things, and there are dimensions to our offense that just disappear, and it makes it easier for teams to match up against us because we have to simplify. And so, again, getting McCollum back is so important for Siena moving forward.
Siena likes having a maestro at the point.
Yes, they do.
Platek the long 3. It's good. Andrew Platek, the max leading three-point shooter in terms of percentage, 46%. He's got 7 here.
Only way he was going to be able to catch and shoot there is if he took a giant step behind the arc, and why not?
Biggest lead of the game now for Siena, 34-25. As Marist almost turns it over, it's out of bounds. Stays with the Red Foxes with the 11 on the shot clock.
It would have been off Barry. Did a nice job interrupting the pass to the post.
Good hands there. Bear, who will check out of the game. Stormo goes out as well. Ken Gribben comes in along with Jace Johnson. Gribben played 6 minutes in the first half, had 2 points. Johnson had 4 points in 8 minutes. Gardner one-on-one with the freshman. Gribben had the ball ripped away. Stolen. Here comes McCollum. 2-on-2. McCollum down the lane. Collides to the rim and scores. Timeout, Marist. Siena has opened up its biggest lead of the game, 36-25 with over 17 minutes to go. It's a 7-0 run for Siena to start the second half as Marist has had a couple of looks at the rim and just have not been able to finish them, and are now shooting 29% for the game. Marist as a team shoots 40% on the season, second to last in the league. And again, Gardner shoots 49%, so I'm not sure what that says about the percentages of the rest of the team, but clearly well under 40% the rest of the team. Foul is called against Siena. Jared Billups, it's his second.
There's some aggressive and skillful defending on the part of Killian Gribben against Gardner just now, keeping him from really getting within 15 feet of the basket. It was something the coach Massarello said Siena would likely defend Gardner by committee which would be a combination of Stormo, Gribben, and Lane. Haven't seen Lane yet, but Gribben, when he's been asked to do so, has done a nice job. That time, though, does foul Gardner.
First on Gribben. And at some point, Gardner appears to be really all Marist has on offense. I mean, they have other capable players, but tonight, or today at least, he has roughly 40% of their points. So how much do you just devote to him defensively and let the other guys try to beat you? Yep. 7 on the shot clock. Here's Gardner. Pivots to his left and scores. Patrick Gardner with 11.
And that's good offense beating good defense. Gribben maintained his position. Didn't allow Gardner to get any closer to the basket. He was certainly efforting to do so. Just showing outstanding touch. The 6'11" big man.
He's the first player in the game into double figures. Weave action here for Siena. Playtech mid-range jumper blocked. And a foul. Spade of fouls to start this second half. This one's called against Marist. Noah Harris is first. So Gardner has 11. Ferris has 5. Nobody else has more than 3. As Trace Salton comes in for Ingo. 16 minutes to go. Media timeout coming up at the next dead ball. Playtech, nice feed to a cutting Billups, lays it off glass and is fouled by Gardner, who takes his headband off in frustration. It's only his first foul of the game. It'll send Billups to the line. When we return, under 16 to go, Saints by 9. And 4, currently in third place. Niagara falls to 9-6. Billups makes the first here. Also is Canisius lowering the boom on Quinnipiac by 20. Canisius, which had lost 6 in a row, still in last place. Quinnipiac falls to 8-7. Quinnipiac plays at Siena on Friday night. Quinnipiac has been a kind of a streaky team this year, looking tremendous at times and looking not tremendous at other times. And a foul. It's going to be called on Playtech. Speaking of streaky, Marist has been streaky. They have 5, if you consider a winning or losing streak, 3 games. They've done that 5 times this year. Won or lost 3 games in a row, at least 3 in a row. So that counts for 15 games. They've only played for 23 games. They've either been hot or not. Harris off the mark with a 3. Billups the rebound.
For what it's worth, Marist prefers to play when it's sunny outside. 5-2 in day games this season, as we're talking about streaks and numbers within the numbers. So 5-2 in day games this season, 3-13 in night games. But then how about this? For Siena, 7-1 on Friday night in MAC play, just 3-3 on Sunday afternoon games.
Foul is called against Marist. Jaden Daughtry, as Marist has just been ice cold from the field here. 20% in the second half now, 31% for the game. This is Siena's biggest lead of the game. Saints will inbound from the baseline. Siena's beaten Marist 8 of the last 10 times they've played. Here's a sub. St. Fersey in for Marist, replaces Daughtry. 8 of the last 10 times and 26 of the last 33. So you figure that goes back probably at least 15 years. 26-7. McCollum flips it in, extends the biggest lead of the game. He's the first Saint into double figures with 11. Harris, who has not scored, does so here. His first 2 of the game. He's now 1 out of 7 from the field. McCollum turns the corner. Up fakes, drives down the lane smoothly, kicks it out for a 3-pointer from Billups. Playtech the strong offensive rebound. To McCollum, he'll shoot a 3. He got it. And a Marist timeout. McCollum with 14.
9 points in the second half for Javian McCollum. It looked like it was going to be an assist on a
9 of his 14 since halftime. We're only 5.5 minutes into the second half. Marist having problems getting it in. Full court press and a steal for Siena. Oh, Johnson was on the sidelines. That caught Marist off guard. And Coach Massarello turning up the pressure here, looking to put this game away here. They can get this up to 18 to 20. That could be all she wrote. This Marist team just does not have the firepower to come back from 20 points down in this amount of time.
That's one of our keys to the game, right? Apply pressure on the ball at every opportunity. It puts more stress on the offense. Let's see what the pressure does here. It's going to be out of bounds to Siena.
Looked like there was a travel on St. Fursey. It does end up going over to Siena. Marist has 4 points in the second half in almost 6 minutes. Here comes Stormo. Saints are on a 14-4 run to start the second half. And let's see if the Saints can get Jackson Stormo going here. Jackson has no points and 1 rebound in 16 minutes. And I would expect them to go inside to the big man, the steady fifth-year grad student from Santa Barbara, California.
Absolutely, because even a ton of basketball left here, but even if ultimately Siena can get away with this game, one in the win column without Stormo contributing too much offensively, you want to get him going because it's important to get his confidence up deeper into the conference schedule and then certainly into the conference tournament.
Couple of finger rolls today for Siena. Jace Johnson with 6 points, right at his season average. Saints extend the biggest lead of the game to 16 points. Foul. Missed the shot, but Harris will go to the line. McCollum the foul, his second. It will put Harris at the line, an 89% free throw shooter. Noah Harris has made 17 free throws in a row. He's not missed a free throw since December the 10th.
You were just digging yourself a deeper hole the more you were talking.
I would have never known that if it wasn't in their game notes.
That's fair. That's fair.
My bad, Noah. You seem like a nice young man. You're a sophomore from Manalapan, New Jersey.
You didn't deserve it.
Makes the second. He's got 3 points here in the second half, 3 for the game. And Marist down by 15. Zach Tekin back in for Siena, giving McCollum a breather. Foul. It's going to be called on St. Fursey. We asked Coach Massarello, do you need to have McCollum on a quote-unquote pitch count or a minute count the rest of the season? He doesn't think so.
Not after the healing touch of the chiropractor.
Because there is that concern,
right?
Especially in the conference tournament. You're playing 3 games in 3 or 4 days. Can he hold up for 90 minutes over 3 days? A steal by Gardner. The most important 3 games of the season.
And there were load management issues, even if you go back to, playing down at Manhattan where he was able to play 12, 15 minutes in that overtime loss, but then didn't play 2 days later against Niagara. But at least from our conversation yesterday, that injury is, as of now, no longer a concern.
Stormo clears the glass after the Harris miss. Ely the 3. Stormo the rebound. Kicks it out for a plate tech 3. It's good. I think it might have been a 2. I think they're going to stop the play to check it out. Perhaps. No, Ely was a little injured on the play. That was a 2.
Stormo for fighting for that offensive rebound, taking it away from Gardner, and then very alertly kicks it out to the wide open plate tech,
who now has 9 points. Gardner has been relatively quiet here in the second half, only 2 points, and the ball, it's a foul. Michael Baer, his third. Gardner had 9 at the half. He now has 11, and he also does not have any rebounds in the second half.
There are different ways to measure, and we've certainly already provided some examples of how you can describe what Gardner means to this team and to this offense, leading the team in so many different categories, one of them being assists, second on the team assists. A beautiful pass right there from Gardner. But I think this one is interesting. Marist is 7 in 6 when Gardner takes at least 15 shots from the field. They're 1 in 9 when he has fewer than 15 shots.
That was the score from Brickner off the nice feed. Bear the three. Well, long, rebounded by Stormo. Playtech gets a man in the air, shoots the three. And it's out of bounds to Marist. We're under 12 to go. We will head to a timeout. Saints in control here, leading at 47-32 on Super Bowl Sunday.
Siena shooting markedly better in the second half. 58% from the floor in the second half. Also, they're continuing to suppress their turnover number. Just 5 turnovers in the game against 10 assists. A 2-to-1 ratio, exactly what they're looking for.
Gardner knocks down the three as Marist starts the long road back. 14 for Gardner. It's a 31% three-point shooter this year.
He's got a couple in this game, and ultimately, it's worth repeating. And that is, if Siena can keep the ball out of Gardner's hands, you're going to like their chances.
Great hustle by Marist. Bear comes away, though, with the ball. Excellent job there by Daughtry to go after it. Inside for Stormo. One-on-one with Gardner. Now double team. Stormo hook shot. Couldn't get it to go, but he's fouled. And those are some of those little, almost, you don't want to call them bunnies. They're contested shots, but Jackson finishes those so regularly.
That's exactly right. I mean, it's a terrific move. Spins back, a little hesitation, gets Gardner in the air, did everything right. And to your, yes, there's contact, Beer. To your point, you would expect that he would finish that off.
He's 0 for 2 from the line today. Jackson, an 83% free throw shooter. Did kind of injure his hand a little bit early in the game. Doesn't look to be a big issue, but certainly on something like shooting a free throw, it could affect him. But certainly that's not going to be an excuse Jackson's going to offer. So he takes a deep breath and heads back to the line. Does make the second first point of the game for Stormo. Billups has replaced Jace Johnson. Saints have split their last 8 games 4-4. Since a very hot start, 6-0 in league play. A foul is called. Zach Tech in the foul, his first. Second, a little aggressive with the body. Gardner looking to distribute, gets it to Brickner. Another foul. That'll be the third on Billups. And that's going to put Marist at the line. And that's a way Marist, this offensively challenged team, can get back into the game, making some free throws.
Yeah, no question about it. And they've been a good free throw shooting team as of late, shooting 77% from the line over their last 8 contests. Billups didn't like the call, but it was the right one. You talked about Siena splitting 4-4 its last 8 games. And, you know, earlier in the season for Siena, they didn't face a lot of adversity. They go down to Orlando and surprise everybody with their performance down there in the tournament over Thanksgiving. Get off to that scorching hot start in conference play. And really over the past couple of weeks, for the first time, you see some vulnerabilities in the Siena team. And we asked Coach Master how he's addressed that with his team. And he said, I feel like, you know, their swagger is exactly what it was earlier in the season, because they recognize once they get back to full strength, they're going to be that team. And like you said, if we had Ely, if we had McCollum in a couple of those close losses, the 2-point loss to Niagara, the overtime loss to Manhattan, it would have been a different story. So really their confidence has not been at all on shaky ground. It's a matter of putting it all together as they start to get healthy again.
And it gave some of the backups, guys like Zach Tekin, you know, who maybe wouldn't have developed as much as they did by playing so much. You know, they feel more comfortable with those players being in the game as the Saints turn it over. Marist has pulled to within 11. Having said that, there's also no guarantee that those players will be healthy all the way to the end of the season, so they've got to be able to handle adversity if it does come in some form. Gardner, a three. It's good! 17 for Patrick Gardner, and it's now just an 8-point lead.
New numbers working out for him this afternoon, isn't it? 33, reining in the threes.
A 9-1 run now for the Red Foxes as they pull to within 8. Almost a steal. It is stolen, and a foul on Stormo at the midway point of the second half. Make it a 10-1 run, actually, after that three by Gardner.
Marked by St. Pearson. Jackson didn't see him coming.
Stormo goes out of the game. Killian Gribben comes in. Also out, Jared Billups. St. Percy makes the free throw, his first point of the game. One out of two, but an offensive, no, out of bounds. It'll, over to Siena. 1 point for St. Percy, just past the midway point of the second half. The lead has been cut to 7. There's always that natural tendency when you take a huge lead, kind of relax a little bit, but Marist has not gone away. Saints led by 17 about 3 minutes ago. And Marist showing that possibly they do have the firepower to come back from that kind of deficit. Playtech foot on the line jumper. Strong rebound by the Red Foxes. Bodies hitting the floor, out of bounds. No, foul. Foul is called against Marist. Cam Ferris his second. Only the 6th against Marist, so Siena will inbound the ball. Marist had scored 30 points in roughly the first 27 minutes of the game. They've scored 11 in the last 3. And they've pulled to within 7 here with 9.5 to go. Playtech down the lane, scoop shot too strong. Rebound Gribben, fresh 24 Siena. Playtech 3 from the corner. It's good! Andrew Playtech up to 12 points.
Offensive blast has been huge for Siena in this game. 13 offensive rebounds for the Saints against just 6 from Marist, and Siena has turned those 13 offensive rebounds into 15 second chance points.
Brickner looking to answer, unable to do so. Offensive rebound, Daughtry. Blocked by Ely. Daughtry sticks with it. 5 for Daughtry.
Nice response by Marist, a couple of second chance points. McCullum nearly turned it over.
And tipped out of bounds by Daughtry. Here comes Chase Johnson for Ely.
Really good work by Gribben, and then they kick out.
Rollin Belton back in for Marist. Played only 3 minutes in that first half. Playtech off a screen, another 3. He got it. Timeout Siena. John Dunn is furious. Back-to-back threes for Playtech.
It's not the...
They came into the game averaging an assist on roughly half of their made field goals, only 3 out of 16 today. But still time to go here with 8.5 remaining. Now Gardner out of the game right now. Tough fadeaway jumper by Ferris. He's fouled by Billups. That'll be Jared's 4th foul of the game. So they're getting a quick breather for Gardner here with the media timeout coming up under the 8-minute mark. As Gardner has played 29 of the 32 minutes in this game. Cam Ferris to the line, 68%. That's his first point of the second half. Michael Baer back in for Jared Billups, who will have to exit with 4 fouls. So Siena's best defensive player goes to the bench with 4 fouls. Stormo continues to be on the bench as well. Two free throws for Ferris. He's got 7. Cuts the lead back to single digits. 9 points. Playtech up to 15 points. He averages 11 a game. McCollum step aside three. And rebound, Jaden Daughtry. Throws a fastball ahead for Ferris. There is a media timeout coming up. Harris, quick three.
When Gardner's not in the game, the offense looks a little different for Marist.
And there was still probably 15 seconds on the shot clock there when Harris took that contested three. It's just not the look John Dunn wants for his team. Almost a steal. McCollum the loose ball. McCollum slicing all the way to the rim. Scores and a foul. Javian McCollum with 16 sends us to a break. 7:35 to go. Saints have once again opened up a double-figure lead. In the MAC tournament, get a first-round bye. The bottom six have to win 4 games in 4 days to hoist the trophy. McCollum completes the three-point play. He's got 17. And Siena once again opens up a 12-point lead. Robert Lee, Kelly O'Donnell, our entire crew with you from MVP Arena in Albany, New York. Temperatures near 50 here in mid-February. No one will complain about that. As Ferris missed the three. Strong rebound, Killian Gribben.
And I was just about to say Killian Gribben still in the game. He averages about 9 minutes per game. He's already played 12, and he has been so effective against Gardner. Why not keep him in?
Harris turns it over. Jace Johnson the steal. Jace Johnson running the other way, and Siena will set up the offense with 7 minutes to go. Noah Harris has 3 points on 1 out of 10 shooting. McCollum. Long rebound to St. First seed. Gardner is back in the game for Marist as the Red Foxes try to make one final push. Daughtry, strong finish.
Yes, it was.
Jaden Daughtry, a freshman, averages 3 points a game. He's looked good. 7 points for Daughtry off the bench. He's also got 3 rebounds, an assist, and a steal in just 12 minutes. Gribben starting the offense. McCollum floater. Halfway down, rebounded by Gardner. 10-point lead for Siena, 6 minutes to go. Gardner wide open, up fakes. Takes it to the rim, glides in for the score.
Have to respect the three-point shot after he's already made 3 of them in this game. So he showed the head fake, the shot fake to Gribben, who bid on it. And then it was an easy lane to the rim.
The second leading scorer in the league at 18.5 a game now has 19 and pulls Marist within 8. Jace Johnson, great position, knocked away. Knocked away nicely by St. First. Red Foxes on the run. Stop and pop three, no good. Rebound, Playtech. John Dunn just throws his hands up in frustration at that shot. Maybe not what they were looking for on the 3-on-2 break.
No, Marist doesn't have a single point off of the fast break in this game. 8 for the Saints.
Could have gotten to within 6 or maybe 5 there. Jace Johnson down the lane, and an offensive foul. Jace Johnson, his first. This game is still hanging in the balance. 5 minutes to go. Saints up by 8. Marist has the ball. Stormo, Billups, and Ely back in. Billups playing with 4 fouls. Ingo back in for Marist. Replaces Daughtry. Patrick Gardner's legit.
Yes,
he's a good player.
Yes, he is.
You think, oh, he came from D2. He was playing in junior college at Nassau Community College for a few years. He can play.
He's got all the tools, doesn't he?
Let's see if they can get it to him for another shot here with 4:40 to go. Gardner with 19. Down the lane, Harris. Double team. 6 to shoot. Ely guarding Ferris, who drives to the rim and scores. Cam Ferris with 9 points, cuts the lead to 6. Saints led by 17 with about 13 minutes to go. Marist on a 6-0 run. And if it wasn't for those two Playtech threes,
right,
ifs and buts. McCollum almost had it ripped away. He loses it. Marist has it, down by 6 with the ball. 4 minutes to go.
And this is the time of the game where...
Boy, Harris has just not had it. Wow, 0 for 5 from threes, 1 out of 11 from the field.
That thought after the timeout about freshman and sophomore making some rookie mistakes for this Marist team.
Under 4 to go, Saints by 6. Here come the Saints with McCollum, Billups, Ely, Stormo, and Playtech. Set play out of the timeout. McCollum curls off a screen. He's double teamed. He's fouled. He's fouled, and that's going to put Siena's best free throw shooter at the line for 1-and-1. Third on Gardner.
Gardner got him in the face, it looked like.
Daughtry back in for Ingo for head coach John Dunn. 1-and-1 coming up here for Siena's Javian McCollum.
Understandably, you want to go for the steal there if you have the opportunity to get it, but still having to put yourself in a position where you give up that foul 25 feet from the basket with McCollum dribbling in the wrong direction. And as you mentioned, the top free throw shooter on the team. Not how you want to give Siena a chance to put easy points on the board.
$19 for McCollum. And the Saints open up an 8-point lead with 3:39 to go. Full court press. Gardner's wide open at the low. Oh, appreciate the effort there, Cam Ferris. Wow, that was ambitious.
Yes, it was. Perhaps too ambitious, judging by the results. Oh, my goodness.
Some bad intentions there by Cam Ferris, but it's a missed shot, and the ball goes over to Siena. McCollum, mid-range jumper is no good. Rebound, tap to Harris.
Let me circle back to something that I had teed up right before we went to the last commercial break, and that was the fact that Coach Dunn told us that with the freshmen and sophomores that he has on this roster, there have been situations like this one, close game, final 5 minutes, where they just haven't made smart choices. They've turned the ball over too frequently and haven't given themselves a chance to win as a result of those mental mistakes. And some of that's just maturity and growth within the program and understanding game situations. We've seen some of those moments down the stretch here.
And the last 2 possessions, Patrick Gardner did not touch the ball.
Exactly.
Did not even touch the ball on the 2 of the most important possessions of the game. It's clearly the key to their offense. Ely missed the shot. He'll go to the line with 2.5 minutes to go. 4 fouls on Daughtry. Ely to the line 85% this season, and 1 out of 2 today. Saints have 2 timeouts left. Marist with 1. Possession arrow favors Marist. Both teams into the double bonus. They'll shoot 2 the rest of the way. Ely with 8 points. That was his first point of the second half. Full court press here from Siena. Problems getting it in there. And now Siena will pull the pressure back with 2:20 to go. Gardner has to get a touch here. In a position he can make a play. Harris banks it in. Noah Harris takes matters into his own hands. He has 5 points. Cuts the lead to 7. Playtech open 3. It's good! AP for 3. He's got 18, and that may have been the straw that broke the camel's back right there.
John Dunn just looked at his staff, shrugged his shoulders as if to say, how do we allow that to happen?
That's a great question.
Right.
The best three-point shooter in the league was all alone, and I think shooting that shot instead of running clock. In fact, he and McCollum have 14 in the second half. Patrick Gardner, 22 points for Patrick Gardner. Final timeout for Marist. Wow.
On 4 of
Marist. Marist is out of timeouts. They get it in from McCollum. Marist will play it straight up here, not fouling. Marist is out of timeouts. And a foul. And that's going to put McCollum back at the line. And I think John Dunn probably wanted to just defend for 30 seconds there. Now they'll put McCollum again back at the line for 2 shots.
Yeah, certainly enough time left when you look at the deficit of 7 points to not have to put an 87% free throw shooter on the line.
McCollum now has his 10th 20-point game of the season. .21 points for Javian McCollum. And extends the lead back to 9. Full court press from Siena. Now, similarly, Siena does not want to foul. Don't want to give Marist a chance to score with the clock stopped. Wild take there. Playtech clears the glass. Good defense by Billups. McCollum thought about it. Minute 20 to go. Do not want to force a shot there. Time is on your side here. 9-point lead. Siena will just run time off the clock here. Now, there's only 13 on the shot clock. Marist should not foul intentionally here. There's only 10 to shoot. Most of the time has come off the shot clock. Ely, three-pointer is good. Michael Ely, the exclamation point. And a timeout with just over a minute to go.
And I'll tell you what, the extra pass was on for Playtech, who had space in the corner. But Ely,
when they've allowed 7 or more, they are 0-9, 8-6 otherwise. Marist desperate here. 1 minute to go. No timeouts for Marist. Here's Gardner. In the corner. Stormo's all over him. Oh, bangs the three. Patrick Gardner, 25. Wow. Saints just want to hold the ball here with 48 seconds left. Playtech loses it. It was tipped into the backcourt. Billups has got it. No shot here. Saints do not want to shoot. They're going to hold it until they get fouled. Unless Marist chooses not to foul. With a 9-point lead. And they're not going to foul here. 10 on the shot clock. And they will foul McCollum finally with 32 seconds to go.
After 20 seconds came off. Can we go back to that Gardner corner? I mean, Stormo was a blanket. He was all over him.
Couldn't have been defended any better.
No, exactly. He's now 5 of 6 from the outside.
He's 10 out of 15 from the field as McCollum has been just tremendous from the free throw line. He was 10 out of 10 against Mount St. Mary's. On his way to 22 points. He now has 22 here today. He is 9 out of 9 today. Virtually automatic. Got to get a shot from Gardner here. Instead, it's Ferris who's fouled on the three. 24 seconds to go. Saints up by 11.
Incredulous look on the face of Michael Ely. Saw him now with the words, "I didn't touch him."
3 shots here for Ferris. And there is the possibility that Marist will not foul with only 24 seconds left. These shots significant to some. Ten-point lead. Cam Ferris to make it a 9-point deficit. He got it. 10 points for Ferris. 9-point lead for Siena. Will Marist foul? 24 seconds to go. They steal it. Harris, the three from the corner. It's good with 18 seconds left. Cuts the lead to 6.
They're going to foul now.
Yes, they are. 18 seconds to go. And Stormo is fouled. Let's take a look at our play of the game. Zach Tekin with the steal on fence. A quick hands by Tekin leads to the run out for Michael Ely. Our play of the game brought to you by American National Insurance Company. Stormo to the line for 2 shots. Still a 2-possession game with 17 seconds to go.
Stormo just the 1 point without a basket in this game, but only 0 for 1 from the floor. Hard to believe Jackson Stormo would play 25 minutes and only shoot 1 shot from the field.
And he's 2 out of 6 from the free throw line as he makes the second, makes it a 3-possession game with 15 seconds to go. Harris, another 3. This time Bear the rebound, and he's fouled with 7 seconds to go. Marist would not go quietly, but it appears Siena will come away with the victory.
Siena did some things really well in the second half, shot the ball significantly better, 52% from the field in the second half, just 34% in the first half. But you know, if there's going to be a takeaway for the coaching staff, I imagine you get to practice and start talking about what you're going to work on in the coming week. It's the fact that they didn't put Marist away and allowed this game to be close down the stretch.
Final 5 seconds here. Saints lead it by 9. Ferris the 3. Couldn't bank it in, and a foul against Siena with 0.6 of a second left. Keep those pigs in the blanket in the oven for another 0.6 of a second. Your wings, your nachos. You got a prediction? Give me a prediction.
I think it's going to be a close game, a field goal either way. I'll go Chiefs.
I will also go Chiefs as the free throws missed. I think Philadelphia is very tough to gauge. They were so good for most of the year, but you know, they didn't really play anybody in the playoffs. I think that's what makes it so tough to kind of figure out what's going to happen. That's why they play the games. That's why they played this game. Saints win it 73-65.
Boy, Patrick Gardner put on a show. 25 of Marist, 65 points, 5 of 6 from the outside.